Alright, David Harry here, and I've just done the world's worst unboxing of this, which is the Sony ZV-1. Now the reason why it was the world's worst unboxing for the ZV-1 is because I just wanted to hurry up and get it out of the box and outdoors. So what I'm going to do now is just go outdoors and I'm going to film some stuff which is as much of like an out of the box experience as I can do with this camera, and then I will come back at the end and give a little bit of a summary. Okay, so this is the first shot that I've taken with the camera, and at the moment it's like literally right full arm's length away. I mean proper stretched out. What it is, I've got the camera in as out of the box as possible. It's in 4K 25p. Well, actually, it'll only do 25p, and pal, won't do 50. Let's see. So everything is as automatic as I can possibly get it. And I've kind of switched off just a couple of things like, you know, the power issue and stuff, so it'll do longer takes. So basically what I've done here, I've essentially got it as out of the box as possible in its fully auto configuration and stuff. Also, I am on proper full-on steady shot as well, so not the halfway bit but the full stabilization and whatnot. Now immediately I'm gonna try and not look at the screen, but I will end up looking at the screen at certain points as well, and I'll do it right now. Right, only because I'm going to look at it just to see what the framing is like, because it is just not wide enough for vlogging. I mean, in all honesty, I didn't buy this camera for vlogging anyway. I bought it for other stuff, ultra like portable, ultra lightweight, high quality, like recording kit, you know, with some mics and things like that. So for my particular purposes, I'm hoping it will work out really well. But right now what I'm doing is obviously just testing some of its basic functions, which I will be using within the scenarios that I'm going to be using it in. And also right now I'm on the internal microphone. I have got the dead cat off the internal mic as well on. It's not mad windy or nothing, but anytime you go outdoors, if you've got a dead cat to hand for any type of microphone, whether that be an internal or an external mic, you should always put them on anyway, just in case you do hit a bit of a breeze. Now what I'm going to do, let me just change to another microphone. What it is one of my little botched mics that I built. Let me just pop this in and see how we get on with this. Okay, so I've just switched over then to one of my kind of like botched microphones. What it is, this is actually a Comica CVMVS-08. What it is, it's a little weird mic which has got a right angle connector on it, and it's designed for smartphones. But what it is, I kind of like alter the wiring on it so I can turn it from TRRS to TRS. So right now this is plugging straight into the side of the ZV-1 without the need for any cables or anything like that. So hopefully this is going to sound okay. Now with this, I've had to go into the manual setup for this on, let's see, on the mic input. So just for anybody who's interested, I've got this on 10. What it was set far too high after being on the internal microphone. So I've had to go in, do a little bit of manual messing around. But that is absolutely necessary, obviously, because it's a microphone external and stuff. What I'm trying to do here is just be as out of the box as I can with this setup. Let me just have a quick look here. So the levels I'm getting here from the audio are basically bouncing anywhere between around -12 to -3. So I got myself a fairly decent bit of headroom so I can mess about in post. In fact, what you'll have been hearing right now is my resummed version in post. So right now, what we are listening to is the signal exactly as it's gone in, with that little bit of headroom so I can move about with it in post. So what I'm going to do is right now, I'm back up again. So back to my resummed version. Okay, so what I'm going to do, just going to carry on walking through this bridle path area here, because what it is, it kind of goes in and out of shade and stuff. So at points there's a bit of sunlight, you know, kind of bursting through, and then at other points it's total shade. So it's going to be interesting to see how it's handling the exposure on this little stretch here. And also as well, what are the skin tones like? And I have to mention that, not because I think there's anything wrong with this camera, but the last couple of things I've tried out to do with phones and whatnot, and a couple of other little camera things, being a bit mad with skin tones and stuff. Right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to dive somewhere where I can point in and out of light. Okay, so where I am now, there's definitely a lot more light. I'm not under the direct shade of them trees and stuff. I'm still in, what is it, intelligent auto and all that kind of thing. Also, as much as what I'm not going to be looking or try not to look at the screen, I've had a little look while I wasn't recording. It's definitely doing the eye track thing. So hopefully what we're getting here is, you know, proper focus on me. But on top of that, it's obviously using me as the source for exposure as well. So let's see what's going to happen as I turn around and do stuff here. Now, I'm also still on that external microphone as well. I will be trying another one of my little external microphones shortly. But right now, I'm just going to turn around and let's just kind of get a grip of what it's doing as far as exposure is concerned on me and such. Then what I'm going to try and do, what it is, it's a bit cloudy. So I'm not going to get any kind of direct sun. In fact, let me just get over here. Then what we'll do, I'll try and tip it up so I'm proper going to have to point in towards more sky and sun. Let's see what the exposure's like. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to look at the screen a second just so I can see where I'm pointing it at. Okay, so where that is right now, that's the sun, that's the sky with the sun to one side, but that's the most light I'm probably going to get now going straight into the lens. How's it dealing with the exposure on me right now? I can see it's attempting to draw a box and stuff, but I can't see the screen properly from this angle, so I don't really know what it's doing as far as exposure is concerned. Like I say, it is on intelligent auto and all this kind of funky stuff that it's meant to be on, so it can go off and do its own thing and you don't have to worry about stuff. So hopefully what we've seen there was a decent bit of exposure. Now what I'm going to do is turn the camera around and then just kind of move about with it, or just turn a little bit. Let's see what it does when it's free to kind of pick what it wants to be focusing on other than a person. Okay, so that's now turned right round, it's on its widest. Also as well, the microphone that I'm using actually does swivel right round, so weirdly and very fortunately, the microphone swivels right round to point behind the camera. So I'm talking direct into the microphone here, which is pretty cool. So obviously when I've got the camera pointing away from me, I can use the microphone turn round and then I can kind of narrate and do whatnot as I'm pointing at whatever it is that I'm filming. Okay, I mean, the one thing I think I may have noticed here is some of the greens may have gone a bit washy and a bit colourful at points. That definitely will be the auto white balance as well. All these things are still going to have a good play with and, you know, work out what's going on with the stuff. Also as well, the size of the screen and whatnot here, it's a bit difficult for me to kind of, well, see focus. What it is, I'm trying not to intervene in any way other than just the microphone with these particular tests right now. Like I say, as straight out of the box as I possibly can. Okay, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to turn the camera around and let me just show you another microphone that I'm going to just have a quick little play with. Okay, so here's the mic that I'm going to try now. It's just another one of my little weirdo botched mics. It's a little right angle cardioid. Now just quickly, actually, I'm going to try and get it close to the lens there. Now I don't have this in that product demo mode or whatever it's called. But yet it does seem to have caught, yeah, it seems to have caught that there, which is pretty neat. I mean, obviously that didn't do that as fast as what you've seen these people on YouTube doing that product demo thing with it, where they shove things in front of it and it snaps focus dead quick. But I think at a push, that speed there that it took to do that, in fact, that's very fast, that, considering it's not in that weirdo mode. I think that's very fast. Anyway, so what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to put the dead cat on this and throw it on. Now, the only thing is I've just had a quick look at this and the camera was showing something really odd on the metering. Now, if it doesn't work, I'll just skip straight to the next thing that I'm going to try. All right, so I've just switched over now to that other little tiny right angle cardioid. The only thing is here, I'm not entirely sure what's going on because the metering is showing something a bit odd. Now, I know this microphone is fine, so hopefully there is something out of this take that I can use. It looks like it's not registering both the left and right, or channels 1 and 2, but this microphone is actually normalized to 1 and 2, so it should be showing the same thing on both sides. Let me have a quick look. Yeah, it's still doing the same thing. It's only showing one side at the moment. So what I'm going to have to do, obviously, if this has worked, I will have just centered one side of it. The other microphone, in fact, let me just show you this right there. So as you can see there, oh no, it's not doing it now, hold on. As we can see there, hopefully, there is a TRRS connection. Right, it's going to have fun in games trying to do this. I think I just caught lucky before with what I was trying to get it to focus to, but we'll get an idea anyway. So there's the mic there, and hopefully as we can see, the side there, that jack that pops out the side, that is TRRS. So what I do, I just rewire that so it's TRS, so I can pop that straight into the side of the camera. So that's what we were on before, obviously with a dead cat on it as well. Alright, so I'm back over onto my butchered VS-08. Hopefully the previous take did work and the previous mic did work. Anyway, what I'm doing right now is testing the camera at a distance which is beyond handheld vlogging distance, and I think we can see here the frame is still far too tight. Now watch this, that's me way past full arm's length away from the camera. So yeah, this distance here, I've got the camera at the right elevation for me and stuff, but as we can see, it's chopping me head off and stuff. The frame is really tight. Now if I move back to about here, like this frame in here, this type of field of view, I can get this dead easy on a GoPro Hero 8 Black in linear mode, and it's not even at like full arm's length away. But as we can see there, it's miles away from me now. Anyway, what I'm going to do is just try some quick focus stuff. So I'm going to come out of the frame, then I'm going to jump into the frame at different distances, and let's see what happens, see if it catches me quickly or whatnot. So I'm going to come out the frame again, so I'll come back in at a different distance there and stuff, then I'll get into it closely like that, see if it's going to track me on that with the focus. Come back out over here, then I'll come out of the frame again there, then I'll come back into the frame again there. Now hopefully some of this moving in and out of the lens should give us an idea of how quickly it's going to be able to do its tracking for focus, because just quickly it's still catching my eye for the focus thing. So that should have caught me all the way through that messing around there trying to confuse its focus and stuff. Now at the moment I've still got its focus on like out of the box, so it's on its fastest way of doing it and stuff, and its transition speed and stuff is fast and all that. Now go and check out Philip Bloom and check out what he's done with his first little couple of goes at this camera. I think it was his first go at it, and he said something really cool, which was to drop back that setting. So I think it's the slower setting, just so the transition's a bit more natural, and you don't get those sharp pumps and stuff when it starts doing its focus or anything else where it's requiring that tracking to be done. Okay, let me have a quick think here now about what else to do while I'm out here. In fact, let me do some close-up stuff with some of these plants, and let's just see how quickly it'll kind of get into doing the focusing and how close I can get to these things without, again, any intervention. Okay, so once again, what it is, I've just swiveled the mic right round, which is really convenient. And then what I'm going to do is just start going into some of the plants around here. Now, I think what it's going to do is it's going to take its focus point from the center of the screen. So right now, that bush in front of me there, that should be in focus. Now what I'm going to do is lift above it to the flowers on the bush behind it. So now, hopefully that's going to now focus into the background there. And then if I pull it back down again, hopefully it's going to refocus itself there. Like I say, I can't really see the screen that well right now, and I definitely can't tell focus. So is it focusing center screen there? So is it focusing on them flowers up at the back, and then when I pull it back down here, is it changing focus to that? Now what I'm going to do is just go in a bit closer on some of the flowers here. Oh, I can definitely see that that's definitely done a bit of focus there, because it's gone all bokeh-y with the background and stuff. Let me try a bit of this, see how close I can get. Actually, I'm very, very close to that right now, and that does look like it's in focus. If it is, that's very impressive. So what I'm going to do is just come back around here and just try doing close focus on some of this stuff around this side as well. Hold on. I'm extremely close here. I'm only about 6 inches away from these little flowers and stuff, so that's very interesting, because that definitely looks like it's in focus. I hope it is. It definitely looks like it is on the screen here. Now let me just go elsewhere in the gardens here and catch some more flowers. Okay, now this one might be quite difficult actually, because this flower is moving a bit because of the wind. But what I'm going to do is point it at it as I am doing right now. So hopefully this is actually okay as far as focus is concerned. Then what I'm going to do is pull the camera away quickly so we get some kind of distance for background. And then let me see if I can get back to that flower again and see what it does. Hold on. Oh, there's one. Yeah. Okay, now as far as I can see, it does look okay, but like I say, I can't really do critical focus right now. I believe there is a zoom function here for focus on the camera, but like I said before, I've basically got this set up as auto as possible out of the box, so I'm not doing any kind of like expanded zoom functions or expanded focus functions or anything like that. Okay, so let's go there. All right, so that seems to be, yeah, that seemed okay. I don't know, I'll have to wait until I get in. Now let me just sit down quickly. I'll do a little bit here and then I'll shoot off back indoors again. Okay, so I'm back onto the internal microphone now. And so what I'm gonna do is just do a little bit of a thing here, a couple of more little tests I think with the microphone. Then I'll shoot off indoors, have a quick look at what I've done, then do a bit of a summary after I've had a look at it all. Because don't forget, this is my first go out. I don't know what any of this looks or sounds like. Anyway, so since as I'm on the internal mics again, what I'm gonna do is do a cardioid test. So right now, this should be the loudest that we should be able to hear me. And then I am now to 190-degree axis of the microphone. So therefore, I should have dropped off a little bit because this is meant to be a cardioid type microphone for vloggy stuff. I am now 180 degrees off axis right behind. Now I should have dropped off quite considerably here. Now I'm round to the other 90-degree axis. I should be coming up a bit louder, but not as loud as being round to the front like that. Okay, so that little turn around there should give me a really good idea as to what the cardioid pattern is like on this microphone. Now, the other thing as well here, as much as what I have been testing this in like a vloggy scenario, I've done the odd thing where I've pointed at some flowers and stuff, but as much as what this has been kind of like mostly in a vloggy scenario, you have to remember I have not bought this camera for vlogging. If I were able to do vlogging with it, yeah, that would be a bonus for like what I've got in mind for the camera. But I do have to say, before I even get indoors and check out any of this footage, this field of view is absolutely garbage. It is not good for vlogging. And I've already done a video, actually. I won't go on too much about it, but I already did a video where like I'd kind of give me thoughts already toward this camera for vlogging. And that was before I'd even like had my hands on it. And it would appear that everything I'd said in the video was absolutely right. So I'm absolutely bemused by all of those YouTubers who've been going on saying that this is the perfect vlogging camera. It absolutely is not. See right now, this is right at the end of my arm. I am absolutely full stretch. Now the problem here is, although the camera is light and it is very easy to hold, anyone will know, no matter how light the camera is, when it's like, you know, you got your arm fully extended. I mean, look, see, there's my other hand. So when you've got your arm fully extended with the camera on the end, no matter how light the camera is, it's gonna start wearing you down very quickly, and it already is. Now, as a for instance, I've got it in my other hand. If this were my GoPro Hero 8 Black, it'd be there, right? Most of the time, I would have it in this position, and that's because I can get a little bend in my arm here, and it becomes a lot easier to hold. Now this camera immediately feels lighter because I've got a bend in my arm, but I'm looking at the screen there. It's not a vlogging field of view, and neither is that really. Do you know what I mean? You want something a bit wider than this. Anyways, I won't carry on banging on about this because I'm fairly sure I'll have something to say about this in another video, or maybe another couple of videos, because I will be comparing this to a bunch of other stuff. The Hero 8, me Sony AX100, I'll probably try it against the Osmo Pocket, and even though this and the Pocket don't necessarily have very wide field of views, it'll be just good to see how they compare for picture quality. Then I'll also try it against the Action as well. Anyways, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to shoot off indoors, have a quick look through the stuff, then I'll do a summary straight after this cut. Okay, so to an end summary then, and I will try and keep this as short as I can, only because I will be doing more stuff with this camera, which is going to give me more opportunities to do more in-depth summaries. But right now, we are actually on the camera. So this is the ZV-1. I've got it in fully manual. I've done everything manually, including white balance and stuff. The only thing is, I'm not entirely used to its screen, so I don't know yet where I'm up to, because I tend to eyeball everything off the screen. So hopefully I'm somewhere in the ballpark. If there's anything wrong here to do with the white balance or exposure, it's my fault. The only thing that's on auto right now is the focus, and I will try and stop looking at the screen at the side, but just right now, yeah, it all looks okay. It may look slightly warm and maybe a bit too contrasty. Now, that's, again, I'm unfamiliar with this screen. Once you start using a particular screen, you can start exposing on it properly and stuff like that. But the thing is, I've got it set to what is basically its standard profile, as it were, all in manual. So basically Rec 709, fully manual, obviously UHD 25. Now, the thing here as well, what I've done, I've took off all of its kind of stabilizing and whatnot. So what we're seeing here is its true field of view at its widest point. So if I put my hand out there, as we can see, I'm just beyond full arm's length. Now, the position where the camera is basically where I have my AX100 on the table when I do this. So same position. Looking at it, it still feels narrower than my AX100 as well. And this is like totally wide and nothing on it as well, so no stabilization. Also, I'm on my usual Sennheiser ME6040 here just for this end piece. So that's letting you know what I'm on or how I've set it up and all that stuff to do with the ZV-1. Now let me try and flash through this as quick as I can. I am absolutely blown away by some of these automatic functions on it. Some of the auto functions on this camera are just absolutely out of this world. I'll give it that. It's basic picture quality. Now bear in mind, we're not going through any of these picture profiles. This was basic Rec 709 in fully manual mode. I've had a quick look at some of the stuff. I've not edited it up yet. I've just had a quick look, and I'm very, very pleased with the tone that I've got, and it does look nice. And considering it's all done in basically auto, you know, I think that's done a really, really good job. So the basic tone and whatnot, and I don't know whether that's going to be the lens or the sensor or a combination of both, but I'm very happy with how it looks as its basic tone. Now, I've kind of front-loaded some stuff there, which are what I would say are very positive and whatnot. So just quickly, let me just run through the stuff I don't like. Right, there's a bunch of physical attributes about the camera, which I'm just not at all happy about. There's some stuff to do with the sockets, the positioning of the quarter 20. I don't know if I'm still entirely sure about the cold shoe or the hot shoe and stuff like that. Certain button configurations I don't think are really a thing to do with, you know, video cameras. It still feels more like it's a stills camera to me. Also, trying to get into the manual settings via the menu was an absolute, it was just a big pain, because what it is, obviously I've set up this last thing here fully manually. Now on my AX100 I have full buttons for manual control, so I've got 3 buttons for exposure. Actually, it'd be just easier for me to show you. So there we go, there's my AX100, and so there's all kind of like the main kind of function stuff. And then if you can have a look down here, hopefully I can get this into focus. Down here, there's basically 3 main buttons. So there's all of our exposure there. So that's going to be like shutter, gain and ISO. And then you've got a little wheel here. So you're very quickly into like manual exposure, dead easy with this camera. And then obviously with this one as well, it's got a ring on it. So that ring there doubles up as either focus or zoom. Now, it is fly-by-wire, so basically it's not like a geared system, but nonetheless, it is still, you know, you're still fully manual with it. Now, I'm used to using this system manually like this, and my previous Sony cameras like EX3s and stuff like that, fairly much the same thing, fully manual, you know, set up for exposure, focus and zoom and all the rest of it. I didn't realize how difficult it was going to be with this with this camera. Honestly, I was all over the place in the menus trying to change just 3 basic settings for exposure, and I was just getting frustrated and lost with it. So between that, which I'd massively like underestimated, because the other thing as well with the AX100, that screen there is fully touch sensitive as well. So even if you have to do stuff via its menu, it's touch sensitive, so you're into it dead easy. This unfortunately isn't. So I've massively underestimated that side of this camera. So just in a nutshell, certain physical things about its makeup to do with its position for its, its quarter 20, the cold shoe, hot shoe. Well, it's a hot shoe, but I'll be dealing with it as a cold shoe. There's stuff about that. Certain stuff to do with the sockets on the side, button placements, and featured buttons for particular functions as well. It definitely is still weighted more towards what I would say is a stills camera. Now, that's that bit. There's stuff there which I don't think I'm going to be able to live with, so I'm going to have to see how far I get with this. But the last thing that I'll say, and I can say this beyond all reasonable doubt, it is not a vlogging camera. Now, I know that's going to upset some people, and there'll be people straight away giving it, thumbs down, thumbs down. Well, I tell you what, instead of giving me the thumbs down, make a comment to tell me why you think I'm wrong here. Because I'll tell you now, there's two basic things. One is field of view, and one is stability. On both accounts, this camera just isn't good enough as a vlogging camera. Just because of those two things, it's definitely got some other great stuff about it. In fact, the microphones did sound good in it. Hopefully this one does as well. I don't know how this sounds right now because obviously I've got to edit this back. But there's a whole bunch of things about this camera which are great. I just don't think it's a vlogging camera. In fact, it's not that I don't think, it just is not a vlogging camera. And that's on the basis of field of view and stability. And seriously, if you can't beat a GoPro Hero 8 for those two things, you've got to, people have got to stop saying this is the best vlogging camera ever, because it isn't. It's not even a vlogging camera, let alone, the best version of a vlogging camera. And in fact, if anybody wants to hear my thoughts on that in a bit more of an in-depth video, there's a ton of swearing in this video, but there'll be a link here and one in the description to a video that I'd done while I was drunk, basically going on about those two things. Now, I made this video as a bit of a moan about the camera because of what I'd seen up front, and this is before I had my hands on the camera. Everything in that video, I'll stand by it now, because I've had my hands on the camera, and I've got to say, as a vlogging thing, nah, definitely not. Anyways, so what I'm going to do from here on in is do a bunch of stuff with it to do with external microphones, testing it against other cameras and things like that. And if anybody is familiar with the stuff that I have got, and if they want to kind of make suggestions in the comments, maybe if they want to see a certain thing happen, I'll try and get round to doing it if I can. I seriously will, because I do plan on doing a ton of stuff with this. And on that basis, hopefully, I'll build up a big playlist for this camera, just like I did do with the Hero 8. And that being the case, you'll be able to get at that playlist by going to www.sonyzv1.com. In fact, it'll be on the screen right now, yeah. So that'll be the URL I'm going to use for my playlist. Eventually, that'll probably open up as a dedicated website just about my use of this camera and stuff. Anyways, I think that'll do about now, because like I say, there will be more opportunity for me to go into more in-depth kind of breakdowns on some of my stuff that I'm going to be doing, because I'll be doing very specific things. But there we go, there's my thoughts for it right now, and hopefully whatever I did outdoors and stuff, and whatever this example is hopefully, gonna give people a good idea of stuff. Anywho, I'm David Harry. Thank you very much for watching this video. Take care and goodbye now.